Brittany, can you also speak to the differences between startup environment and more corporate scale environment?
Yeah. Especially, so yesterday again was my first day at Google, which was extremely different because I came from a startup who had been acquired by Intel, and during our life at Intel, they sort of left us alone, so we really operated like a startup. It was a group of 70, and it was basically like live, breathe, eat this company and everyone's family, and you work really long hours. But when you work in a small company like a startup, you have so much more power to influence a product and be extremely collaborative. Now that I'm at Google, I'm still just starting to get a feel for how a larger company operates, but I know that I don't have as much freedom to just walk up to an engineer and say, hey, what sort of burning questions do you have about our users and how they use our products? So sort of to be continued, but startups are really fun, really awesome, and you have a lot of influence.
Okay. For me, I'm really fortunate that I get to work in 2 different jobs. So I'm lucky enough to have 2 different jobs, and then also to love both of my jobs, and just to highlight the importance of networking and your connections. The way that I landed my job at the ANSA was through networking. I went to meet with somebody to learn about the social justice work that they do. And as soon as I entered through her door, she sent me, she's like, you did a master's in Spanish. This is not the division for you. She sent me to the right division, where I met with the dean, who had literally 2 minutes to meet with me. And then he set up another time to meet with me. I didn't know it, but it was going to be an interview. And so midway through that meeting, I figured out that it was an interview. And then I was like, okay, I got to get my interview mode on. And he just happened to have a class, a Spanish class that they didn't have anybody to teach, and I was offered that class, and I've been teaching in there for over a year now. And so I feel really, really lucky to have landed a job that I love. I just love teaching in a community college level, just because of the diversity that you get from all the students in there. You can have working professionals in your class through the typical college students that you get. And I learned so much more from the students than what I can teach them. And so I just love having that interaction with the students every time that I go into the classroom, making silly activities for them to do, trying to have some fun. So I just love doing that. And so for that, it's a lot of curriculum development. Every classroom, you have to make sure that you're ready to get the curriculum, to make sure the students understand what you're actually trying to teach, that they're actually grasping the whole context. And so it's pretty flexible, especially because I'm part-time. So I am only there this quarter twice a week. It's very, very flexible. The downside to that is that I don't have a secure job. I can have a class this quarter, next quarter I don't have a class, so I don't have a job. And so even though I love really teaching and what I was doing, I really had to get practical and get a job, especially because I need to have health insurance to get some of my things taken care of. I haven't gone to the dentist in like 3 years. And so those type of things are really important, and you don't really take as much importance in them until you don't have it. And you really need to take advantage of that. And so how I got into the political world is, like I said, I had always been organizing on campus when I was doing my bachelor's, and then I landed a job doing community organizing. And after that, one of my coworkers, her boyfriend was running for city council, and he asked me to come on board, and I was his campaign manager, Raul Corrales. And so we worked for about a year in his campaign, and he got elected. And I got a chance to come on board as his staff now. And that's also a really different environment. I can say that it's always different every day. You don't know what you're gonna get. And always answering calls, learning from the community, meeting in the community. So it gives a really huge opportunity to network, which can be really good and bad. Because some days I'm just like, I just want to be in my office. I don't feel like going to network. And you have to pull it through. But it's also really fun to know that I'm working somewhere where I know that I can represent populations that haven't been traditionally represented. And so knowing that I'm doing something to actually benefit the community and seeing the actual benefits in policy that you can have in a particular community or in the district in general is really rewarding. So even though you work a lot more hours than what you're supposed to, at the end of the day, it's really rewarding just meeting with the community members and having that one-on-one. And so I feel like I'm really, really lucky to have 2 jobs that I really enjoy, and just having 2 jobs in general in this economy, it's really a fortune. So I feel like I've been blessed.
I really love my job at Silicon Valley Talent Partnerships. Like I mentioned before, it's a startup nonprofit. What I mean by that is it started last April, so we really are only about a year old. And I'm one of 3 staff members, and my role is operations manager. But because we are a startup nonprofit, my day is really dynamic. It could include anything from website management to marketing, social media, content generation, communications, intern management. I could be recruiting and pitching projects to corporate volunteers who try to recruit some private sector volunteers, and I could be managing another set of volunteers during the same day. And sometimes we are also the architects of these projects. Sometimes city departments come to us and they pitch projects to us, but a lot of times we go to departments and we pitch ideas because we've heard of various issues in the community or various issues that we've heard from both public and private sector that they want to address. So it's very interesting because we get the opportunity to work with both public and private sector senior executives, and it's interesting to get different perspectives on the project and really just see how each type of person would think about approaching a problem. And the projects we work on are very dynamic. We work on Small Business Ignite, which is connecting small business owners to industry experts so that they can help their small business become more thriving. We work on civic innovation projects where we have volunteers develop performance management dashboard for the city auditor's office, so turning a 300-page report into a digital dashboard that users can then use to navigate and better understand city services. Doing open data and open government projects, creating apps for VTA. So it's a really dynamic job, but it's also, I think, a lot of long hours, and being able to be flexible to change my hats when I have different responsibilities is really important.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. So now